Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Coach Tex Renbert, DFW Penguin Basketball, penguinhoops.com. On my Instagram, Penguinhoops. Guys, before we even get started, man, if you are watching this and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. You know, if you don't want to hear these videos all the time, by being subscribed, just go ahead and hit the like button. It helps the channel grow. Like I said in a bunch of previous videos, I make these videos for my parents mainly, but I want you guys to share this. If you know anyone, a family member that has children that play sports, a friend, a coworker, feel free to share this on any platform that you feel like you could share this with someone on and pass along the word. A lot of the stuff that I talk about may be common knowledge to you, but to someone else, you know, it may be able to help them and help them understand certain things. I'm really big on sports psychology, understanding kids, understanding the way a kid mind works, and how to get the best out of them by understanding that. But today, guys, this video is mainly for the parents. And I hear a lot of parents, especially when their kid gets to 7th, 8th grade, I think when I have players that are a lot younger, that start off with me a lot younger, like first, second, third grade, and I tell them that, hey, when you get to 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, you're going to have coaches that don't understand basketball and probably going to appreciate having good coaches before then. And a lot of parents come to me, especially right now during the basketball season. They tell me how bad the coach is or how he just isn't really there. And I want to explain to you guys, I'm going to give you 6 reasons today as to why your son or daughter won't have, not even just in basketball, but all sports, why your son or daughter won't have a good quality basketball coach or a good quality coach in that sport until they at least reach junior varsity. So, number 1, okay, just the bottom line. There are a lot of guys that coach a sport, but they're just not good at it. You know, there are a lot of guys that are mechanics, and they've been a mechanic all their life, right? But they're just not good at it. There are a lot of guys that are lawyers, but they're just bad lawyers. They're not talented in doing that. They have a passion for it. They may like doing it. It may be their job. It may be what they're appointed to do. It may be the title given to them, but they're just not good at doing it. Okay? You got a plumber, you know. He may not be able to find what's wrong with your piping in your sink in the kitchen, you know. And he'll make it worse than what it was beforehand. The same thing with coaches. Some of these guys just don't understand kids. They don't know how to motivate them. They don't know how to communicate. They've never played at a high level. And not even that playing is real important, but, you know, because a lot of coaches that are good at coaching team sports, you know, honestly, they weren't good players, but they have a passion for the game and they understand team dynamic. But that's a whole nother thing. But the number 1 reason we're going to start off with is just the coach is just not good at coaching. He or she just isn't talented at coaching the sport that your kid plays. Number 2, most of the coaches from 7th school coach. Now, we're talking about school coaches today. Just want to make sure that you guys understand what I'm talking about. Not like AAU coaches, and that's a whole nother thing. But we're talking about school coaches today. Most coaches from 7th to 9th grade, they coach multiple sports. So when you get that, you get this. This coach is really a football coach, right? Okay? His main thing is football. His main thing in football is to coach defensive backs. Now, since there aren't any 9th grade B team or A team coaches, or some schools have 10th grade, or since in middle school they make the coaches coach football, basketball, and track. So now this coach, since your kid plays basketball, and he's got this football coach that really only cares about football, he's not going to really care about the basketball team being good. He's not going to care about developing the guys. He's not going to care about pushing them. He's just trying to get through the basketball season so he can get to track so he can do spring football and be over with, get stuff over with. He doesn't really care, or she doesn't really care about the basketball season. Same thing if I'm a track guy and I got to coach football and basketball, and I don't know anything about football and basketball. I was a track athlete. I was a high jumper, or I was a sprinter. I'm just waiting until track season. So when you get these coaches that have to coach multiple sports and they don't really want to, it's not their expertise, okay, which a lot of schools make these coaches do now to cover spots so they don't have to look for a bunch of coaches. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a bad coach in that sport, right? So number 3, okay, most coaches from 7th to 9th grade, they are just coaching to get an extra stipend pay on their paycheck. Okay, I don't have to go too deep into that, but, a lot of coaches, they need that extra money. A lot of school teachers need that extra money, and they're going to, even if it's a little small amount, they're like, oh, okay, I coach. I like sports a little bit. I get out there and give it a whirl for this extra $2,000 they're going to put on my paycheck a semester. So that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a bad outcome with that. If you don't have any passion for stuff, you're not going to do the job well. All right? What number are we on? We on number 4. Some coaches from the 7th and 9th grade are just coaching because nobody else wanted to. They are coaching because no other teacher on the staff wanted to. Okay? I don't have to get too deep into that, but I'll explain a little bit. There are some schools that they have sports, and they have A, B, and C team for football and for basketball, right? And for volleyball and all that stuff. Now, you may have one coach. Let's say that we're talking about the sport of basketball. We may have one coach that's pretty good, right? And he's the A team coach. Everybody knows, Coach Wright is the good basketball coach, right? And let's say the B team and C team coach, the previous year, they left and went to another school that was coaching the team. So now you got new guys on staff, and you also have a void for the B and C team, right? So now the principal and athletic director are scrambling to find someone to coach the team. So they're going through, sending out emails, hey teachers, we need someone to coach this season. This is in the summertime. We need someone to coach basketball. We don't have any of these spots filled. Who wants to do it? And they're getting closer and closer to school starting. And the deadline isn't coming. So now they're just scrambling to get anybody. And they end up finding 2 guys or 2 women teachers that not want, but they end up just taking it because taking the coaching job or becoming a coach of that sport because they feel bad for the kids and no one else is going to do it. Now, when you do that, and you get a person that does that, what type of effort do you think you're going to get? What type of expertise do you think you're going to get from a 7th grade coach that's never played basketball? And he's the B team basketball coach. Or he's the A team basketball coach for girls team. What is he going to get? Do you think that guy's going to sit up at night and look up a bunch of plays and on YouTube and do a bunch of research on how to do drills? Probably not. If he or she does, it's going to be minimal effort. And the result that you're going to get is a bad coach. All right? So number 4. That was number 4. Number 5. Okay? Many coaches, even if they are decent coaches, they don't care about developing players, making them better. And even if their team isn't already good, they don't really care about the team. They're not going to put forth effort to make the team better. Think about it. If I already am not a really good coach and I know I can't really get a lot out of players, okay, I'm going to lean on my best players to get us wins. I'm not going to try to develop the 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th kid on the team as far as skill level and try to make them better if I don't know how to. I'm just going to hope that these 1 or 2 good players that I have are going to carry the load and help us win. If they're not winning early, we're not winning games early, a lot of these coaches, they just tank it and quit. So, even if the coach is a decent coach, man, when you're in this coaching 7th, 8th, 9th grade, even the 10th grade team, not JV, basketball, a lot of these coaches, they don't care about actually developing the kids. They just trying to hurry up and get wins. And if they're not winning, they just kind of quit. And they just go through the motions. Now, a coach that's really, really good, he's going to see potential in some of those kids that are the 7th and 8th kid on the bench and try to make them better and help them contribute. But for the most part, when you don't get a coach that's like that, you get a coach that knows they're not good. Or even if they are just decent, they're worried about wins. They're not worried about developing this 3 months of this basketball season. They're not worried about developing these other kids and making them better. If they come along and they get better during practice, yeah, but they're not going to pull these kids to the side and do a bunch of extra work with them. That stuff is long gone, man. It's so, the traffic on sports teams and schools is so much to where they're just like, you know what, let me just get this season over with. If we're good, we're good. If not, man, if we're decent, I'll put in a little bit of effort, but I'm not going to pick up Bobby, which is the 6th man, and stay an hour after him working on his ball hand or working on his left hand. That's a lost art in school ball from what I've seen and what I know, for at least at their level. You might get it from JV and varsity coaches, but a 8th grade B team coach or 9th grade A team coach a lot of times is not going to give you that effort. And if you are lucky enough to get a coach like that, you better be thankful. All right? And the number one reason, okay, why your kid won't have a really good basketball coach from 7th to 9th grade is because of this one reason right here. You guys ready? This is the number one reason. Okay. All of the good coaches are constantly trying to move up the rank. Okay. If they're good, they'll be recruited to coach at a higher level at some point in time, and it will happen quickly because there are not a lot of good coaches out there. Okay? And even if they are recruited by their varsity coach to move up to JV or be the assistant varsity coach, a coach that's good and is passionate about the sport is going to try to find the highest level job or position that they can find and move up the ranks as quickly as possible. Think about it with me, right? I've been coaching youth basketball. I coached in college. I've trained a million guys, right? Now, let's say I started to coach. I say I want to go and coach, man. I started teaching and stuff. I got my teacher certification. And the only job I can get was a 7th grade A-team coach, right? Now, you guys think about all my experiences, all my expertise that I have, all the stuff that I've built. And now I've gone into high school coaching. Do you think that I'm going to want to stay and be the 7th grade A-team coach for 10 years? Absolutely not. I'm going to try to be a varsity head coach before the season is over with. If that makes any sense. Hey, the good coaches are trying to move up the ranks as quickly as possible. Some of the good coaches, when the athletic director knows this person and knows how good they are, they're going to try to fill them in a spot as high as possible, as quick as possible. Some coaches may not even want to take a coaching job until they can find a job at a high level. So, with me, I may not even, let's say if I got into school being a teacher, right? I may just teach and not even coach until an assistant varsity job is open or a JV job is open, if that makes sense. Think about yourself. If you work for someone right now, you're not going to go into this job and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to start and I'm going to work in the lowest level of my expertise as possible and never try to move up. You're naturally going to try to move up the rank as quickly as possible, right? So that is the main reason. The good coaches are going to move up real fast, or going to try to move up as fast as possible, and jump up those ranks as quickly as possible. And in turn, you end up with all the good coaches being JV and varsity assistant coaches. And then you get the lower level coaches that aren't as involved, aren't as experienced, aren't as good, coaching 7th-9th grade. And even if you are lucky enough to get those coaches, they're not going to be there for that long. So parents, I don't want you guys, now I know some of you guys are a little bit discouraged about, the coaches that your kids have at this level, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade. But hey man, it should be more motivation for your son to want to try to jump up to JV as quickly as possible, all right? So don't let it bother you too much. I hope this helped you guys out, and I hope you guys understand, and I hope my points made sense to you. But guys, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, man. Share this with someone that you may feel is in the same position as you and feel the same way about their 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade basketball coach or football coach or whatever. Guys, it's a rough journey, but you'll get there, all right? That is pretty much it, man. I will see you guys later.